Hey, have you ever really thought about it? What's the fundamental difference between, say, a buzzing bee and a little toy robot? I mean, one is alive and one isn't. It sounds pretty simple, right? But underneath that simple fact are these amazing universal rules that basically run all life on Earth. And in this explainer, we're going to uncover that secret code.
So let's break it down with a super simple question. You've got a puppy and you've got a toy car. Both can move, right? One barks, the other one might beep, but only one of them has that special something we call life. So how do we actually draw the line between them? What are the rules? Well, in our world, pretty much everything fits into one of two big teams, the living and the non-living. Living things, that's us, animals, plants. They all have that special spark. Non-living things, like a chair or a book or a stone, they just don't. But to really get it, we need to know the rules of the game.
And that brings us to the really cool part of our explainer. You see, scientists have figured out that there are 7 key characteristics that pretty much all life forms share. Think of it like a secret checklist. If something ticks all 7 boxes, well, it's alive. Let's walk through them one by one.
First up, rule number 1, living things have to breathe. This one is absolutely non-negotiable. They need to exchange gases with the world around them to get energy and, to survive. A toy car doesn't need air to roll across the floor, but that puppy definitely does. And what's so fascinating is how life has come up with all these different ways to breathe in different places. We use our lungs to pull oxygen right out of the air. Fish, they use gills to get it from the water. And get this, plants have their very own system, these tiny little holes on their leaves called stomata. 3 totally different methods, but all for the exact same fundamental need. Okay, rule number 2. Living things need fuel. It's kind of like how a car needs gas. Living things need food and water to get energy. And that energy is what powers absolutely everything they do, from playing and running to growing and even just thinking. A stone doesn't need to eat, but every single living creature does. Number 3. Living things can move on their own. They've got their own control center, their own motivation. A book is only going to move if an outside force, like your hand, moves it. But a bird, it decides all by itself when and where it wants to fly. And this just shows you the incredible variety of movement out there. Humans walk and run, birds fly, fish swim. But here's a super cool fact a lot of people miss. Plants move too. Now, they might not be running a marathon, but a sunflower will literally turn its head all day long just to follow the sun across the sky. How amazing is that? The 4th rule on our checklist is growth. Living things don't just stay the same forever. They get bigger and they change throughout their lives. A little puppy grows up to be a dog. A tiny seed becomes a huge tree. That toy car, though, it's going to be the exact same size 10 years from now. 5th, living things are sensitive. They react to things happening in their environment. You touch something hot and you pull your hand away without even thinking about it. A plant senses sunlight and literally bends its stem to get closer to it. This ability to respond is a huge sign of life. A rock doesn't care if it's sunny or snowing outside. All right, rule number 6 is maybe the most profound of them all. Living things reproduce. They can create brand new individual organisms just like themselves. Humans have babies, birds lay eggs, plants make seeds. It's the incredible mechanism that allows life to keep going, generation after generation. And finally, our last rule. Every single living thing is on a journey we call a life cycle. It has a beginning, it grows and changes, it gets old, and then, eventually, its life comes to an end. It's this beautiful, complete story that only living things get to experience. A chair is just a chair. It doesn't have a life story. Okay, so we've got our 7 rules, but sometimes things can be a little tricky. A question I hear all the time is, are plants really alive? They don't walk around or talk. So let's put on our detective hats and use our new checklist to investigate this case.
So let's look at the comparison here. You can see that while their methods are really different, plants and animals are both following the same fundamental rules. Plants make their own food. Animals have to go find it. Animals can move around, plants move in place. But look, they both breathe, they both grow, they both reproduce. So when we apply our checklist, yep, case closed. Plants are definitely 100% alive.
Now that we know how to tell what's living and what's not, let's look at something even bigger. You see, living things aren't just existing all on their own. They're all connected in this giant, incredible web. They actually depend on each other to survive.
This is that circle of connection in action, and it's just perfect. Plants give animals oxygen to breathe and food to eat. In return, animals breathe out carbon dioxide, which is the exact thing plants need to live. And then you have animals like bees who are essential helpers, flying from flower to flower, helping the plants reproduce. It's a perfect partnership.
And just like that, you've totally cracked the code. You've solved the mystery of what it actually means to be alive. You're not just an observer anymore, you're an expert who gets the fundamental rules of the entire natural world. So let's do a super quick recap. The 7 signs of life we've uncovered are: they breathe, they eat food and drink water, they move, they grow, they feel, they reproduce, and they have a life cycle. If something checks all 7 of those boxes, you know for sure it's alive. So I'll leave you with this one final challenge. Right now, wherever you are, just look around. Using your new expert knowledge, can you identify 3 things that are living and 3 things that are not? The world is this amazing museum of wonders, and now you have the guide to understand it.